to guard and to be guarded by. I think that's their issue. I think they're going to steamroll teams. I think, you know, uh, the regular season is going to be their oyster going forward. The challenge now for them is to, in this game, I think illustrated this very, very clearly. They just need the players who can guard these big wings. Okay, so anything else you want to point out for this game?
No, I mean I think we basically said it all.
Um, I'll say this because I won't get a chance. Landry Shamet sucks.
Yeah,
He's
well, I mean, all the reports came out that Marks had already given up on that trade, which is, I mean, that's entering into the bucket with the Allen Crabbe signing and with the Torian Prince signing is
yeah.
as his worst moves, because as I'll say on every podcast, to make my hair gray is this team could use Precious or Sadiq Bey right now. You watch those.
It definitely could, but I just don't know the most troubling part about the Landry Shamet situation is that we can't. He's not worth anything. We can't
Yep.
even turn him into anything, and so it's gonna take some utmost creativity for them to find these missing pieces. Because I think they could win it all, man. I think they clearly are going to come out the East, but I'm watching Golden State struggle with the Lakers right now while we're recording this, and it's very clear that like the Lakers can stay with the scoring of other teams because they get easy buckets. They
Yep.
get buckets going to the lane into the rim. And when their shooting is off, they could just stop shooting and just go to the rim with these gargantuan players that they have. Because
Right.
they've got Montrezl. And I don't know how we stop these guys, yo. It's a little intimidating. All right. Let's go ahead and do our three things and wrap this up. Let's start with your stat of the night.
All right, so my stat of the night, which I think is particularly interesting, is so the team again was I'm giving two stats, but the team again struggled with turnovers, 17 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks only had 5, but at the same time they remained hot shooting from 3, 48%. So it's kind of interesting, right? They win by 2, they shoot way above, like obviously like probably their average, but they also are turning the ball over, which is something that you think will go down as they get more used to each other. So do you count that as a wash? Do you count that as they got lucky today? Did they get unlucky? I don't know. I think it's probably pretty close.
No, I think the turnovers are going to go down with familiarity and
Yep.
with more understanding. What's not going down is the offensive rebounding and allowing these teams to outpossession them. These are the things that are gonna beat you in the playoffs. Milwaukee had 105 field goal attempts. The Nets had, and I can't believe my eyes, 84. That's too much pressure on even superstars to make up that difference. That's 21 more field goal attempts. How do you win that way? I mean, obviously you just have a superior firepower that just doesn't miss. But this is not going to work in the playoffs. And, it just shows how good Kevin Durant and Harden have to be. They have to be Hall of Famers in these games, and they have to play in a large amount of minutes because 84 field goal attempts to 105. 21 more. Uh, that's not gonna work. I think that's clear. Um, what player most typifies this game?
I'm gonna go with with the beard. I'm kind of blown away as blown away as I've been. Look, every game I feel like me and you are on the verge of like we're either crying in amazement or we're crying because one of our little guys got traded, and I'm just blown away by how much attention. Like I'm just not used to watching stars who, first of all, just stars generally on my team, and then
Right.
the amount of attention these guys constantly get is like insane. Like if like it's just wild. Like
Yeah.
Harden is crazy because he doesn't look particularly like he isn't particularly fast. He's still getting himself into shape, but you need to have like two or three guys within a couple of feet of him at all times. Like there's just nothing. I mean, I love when the players start playing him from his back and like letting him go forward because it's just like, all right, like at this point you've broken basketball, my dude.
Yeah, no, it's it's kind of unfair to watch that, and he's just so good, man. It's again, but a lot of his act doesn't work in the playoffs. It's gonna be good
Yep.
to have him as a second and third option in the playoffs, but I think that's why they need each other. I think Kyrie in the playoffs is going to be a whole lot more dependable based off of just the way Kyrie gets busy. If he's himself, if he's Cavs Kyrie, he's going to be lethal for us in the playoffs, and that's just going to open up things for Harden, and to be more successful than he's ever been. So I agree. He was instrumental, but I'm gonna go against that and say Jeff Green. And I'm not trying to be cute. I'm not trying to be witty about anything. But Jeff Green played 37 minutes tonight, right? And the reason why that typifies this game was I don't think me or you would have ever predicted Jeff Green playing 37 minutes for the Nets. And,
No, it's not sustainable.
and for success to come with that. Like, so the Nets winning this game 123. We won this game by we were down. There were 18 lead changes. So this was the game was even closer than the score says. So we have to improve. We've got to improve this roster because I just don't see how DeAndre Jordan for 37 minutes and Jeff Green for 37 minutes is going to lead to great success in the playoffs. That worries me, and we're going to see a lot more of these games not ending happily if we don't fix that. Okay. Last but not least, what play best tells the story of tonight?
I was thinking about this even right after the game. I was like, oh shit, I have to think of a play, and I couldn't get the middle. Like for some reason, I was just fixated on the fact that like I'm so used to that Middleton 3 going in. Mm-hmm. So it took me a little while to just get over the fact that they actually won this game. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's funny. I thought in general there did seem to be some type of momentum shift. And this might be me totally drinking the Sean Marks Kool-Aid, which I'm ready to get called out on. I thought the Bruce Brown getting the rebound, putting it back in, like screaming. For some reason, I'm just like, the Nets haven't really had a guy who did that type of thing. Maybe since like I was gonna maybe say like it's a little Ed Davis-ish in the sense of like a guy who's just like trying to bring the grit to the team. Who, by the way, newsflash to Sean Marks, Ed Davis is a free agent. But so, and that's a guy who I've always loved.
Newsflash! Somebody better send up a rocket, a flare,
I've always been a
a
big Ed
fly a
Davis fan.
blimp over HSS. Some, like those Jets. The guy with the Jets when they wanted to fire Gates, they flew over the practice field with the banner. Like we need that to let him know Ed Davis is available. Wow.
Yeah, I've always been a big Ed Davis guy.
Oh, I
Like
love it.
honestly, if you want to bring back Ed Davis, Rondé, like, and then I don't know someone like I don't know who, but anyway, that's why the Bruce Brown play just like felt like the first glue guy moment, which I think when we look back on like championship teams, they just have the players who do that type of stuff, and at that moment to me just stuck out.
For me, the pivotal play of the night, that tells how this game went was it wasn't even a fast break really. It was off of a miss. Durant gets the ball on the wing side near the Nets bench, and he just passes it forward. And somehow Durant is like, not Durant, Harden is like three steps ahead of the entire Bucks defense, and he goes in to score, and I'm like, this is just not fair. That was Kevin Durant that threw a 20-foot pass to Harden on the break, and he's heading to the basket almost unguarded. I thought plays like that, they weigh on other teams psychologically, because honestly I think it also was just that we have superstars, and it was a little bit in the Bucks' heads. I think if it was the young Nets that Middleton took that last shot against, I think his mind is a little bit clearer that goes in. I mean, I think that play where they just, that outlet pass to Harden, and he just breaks for the basket, like a freight train. I think that just demoralized the Bucks and made them just go, you know what? This team is better than us.
Yeah.
And they're not even playing with Kyrie. That's in their heads. That's going to carry on to the playoffs. And that's ultimately, the play that I kind of think that they kept coming. To their credit, they kept coming. But I think that kind of demoralized them. I think that made them realize, okay, this is a different Nets now. This is not the team that we've been 4-2 against the last couple of years. This is a team that's has two superstars, and one of them has three superstars, and one of them didn't play tonight. So I think the gauntlet is thrown, and we both have 9 wins. They haven't played as many games as we have. We both have 9 wins now. It feels like the Nets are going to be good enough and going to be able to keep enough talent on the floor to maybe even get the top seed in the East, just because it's not that far. Like Milwaukee hasn't run away with it, and neither has Boston or anybody else. So tonight was important. That play was important, and I think we're off to seeing some legendary stuff, man. Like anything else you want to say before we call it a night?
No, I mean what all I got to say is, let's get Kyrie back in. Let's have them continue playing together and just be COVID safe for the sake of their bodies and for the sake of them, like, just getting some type of continuity.
Yeah, no, and that's another thing too. Like, okay. So a couple things before I let us sign off. Today was Martin Luther King.
Yep.
Dr. Martin Luther King Day. I appreciate the NBA recognizing that Dr. Martin Luther King meant a lot to us, and was huge in terms of bringing equality to this country. And starting the conversations that we still